Alright, I've got the courage again to publicly talk about a song that everyone is playing wrong. And this one it's golden, because it often makes the list of easiest riffs of all time. Besides, when I was still a guitar teacher, I've taught this song more times than I want to admit, so I've seen the struggles of countless of students firsthand. So now you're all wondering what the song is. If I just play the first 3 notes, you know it. That's right, Highway to Hell, baby. So let me give you a few examples of what I'm talking about. Disclaimer. With this video, I do not wish to disrespect anyone. We've all been there, we've all made mistakes. It's by mistakes that we learn. I'm using these videos for educational purposes, so I can make a point about guitarists in general. So with that out of the way, let's go. Next example. That guy's playing Eruption, not the song I want to talk about. This one is great. Next example. Oh man, I love seeing those clips, those high school clips. Brings me back to the golden days. So let's find out what actually goes wrong so we can all stop making that mistake. So I definitely don't care about the D over F sharp chord that some play as a D chord. And I definitely don't care about that some folks mix up the major chord with the power chord or vice versa. And I most definitely don't care about people playing the song in standard tuning or a half step down. So Paul, I'm about to play the song on stage and I just need to know, get to the point, what is the problem? Okay, so here it is. What I do care about so much is the rhythm. Or should I say, the groove. So what I did, I put the audio of the examples I showed you in the intro in Ableton Live and let the intros run with the click track. I stretched the clips so that they fall exactly on the spot of where they should start and link that to the point of where the drummer is starting and lining it up to the grid. Now we should have something that roughly falls on the beats. So let's see if it does. Oh! So that last one really messes up the entire intro. Too bad, because the rest is pretty good. So in the next one, second example. Oh, this is the guy that played Eruption in front of these 3 basic chords. Let's see how he does. Okay. Wait a minute. No, that has nothing to do with the groove whatsoever. No, weird. Next example. Okay, just nowhere near a groove. Yeah, that is pretty awesome. Those kits are tight. But one thing they did horribly wrong is the countdown. Okay. That basically says it all. So how should you do a countdown for this song? Well, it should be 1, 2, 3. Or if that's too fast, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then continue the song. So the thing you just have to do is to just play the 3 chords and keep the groove. Keep time yourself. Count to 4. How hard can it be? Guitarists often are used to having a drummer or a backing track or just playing along with the original, so when it comes down to counting yourself for just a few bars, many get lost, sadly enough. So that second example. How is it possible that he's playing Van Halen's Eruption on stage, this crazy shred intro, but then you aren't able to play 3 chords to a basic groove? I think that can only happen if you've been focusing merely on speed and technique while clearly not doing more important things like timing and groove. Those elements are the cornerstone of music. You don't have to play it perfectly in time for it to sound good. It doesn't really matter all that much in scenarios like these, but you've got to feel the groove, well, or at least a groove. Let's take a look at the footage of Angus Young playing this riff. He's clearly feeling it with every part of his body.
Ga ga ga, 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 ga ga ga.
You see how he's moving and keeping time? So that doesn't only help him feel it, but also the rest of the band. So if you can clearly communicate your groove to the rest of the band, man, that's worth a lot. So, but is there a specific reason you picked this song? I mean, there are many guitar-only intros, right? Aren't they played wrong too? Well, the reason I used this particular riff is syncopation. Syncopation is explained, a little simplified, as unexpected rhythms. Like that video where we talked about the 5 intros that confused me or confused you. A lot of these were syncopated rhythms, playing tricks on the mind. For example, when you're playing accents on the weak beats or on the off beats instead of on the strong beats, the 1 and the 3 in this case. So for this riff, all the figures start on the end of 3 or the end of 1, except for the last one over here. This one is on the beat, but for the rest, all the accents fall on the off beats. And that is why it can be difficult to lock in with the groove. But you just have to feel the rhythm and count along in your head, or with your head, or both even. 1, 2, 3. You see, the physical groove is gone, but I'm still counting along, feeling the groove with my head, with my body. So when the beat goes away, we're still feeling the groove. And that's exactly the thing we have to do before we start playing. Internalize a drummer, a groove, a click, a timing. And not just play these chords at a random moment that somewhat feel right because you roughly remember how this riff should sound. And I really think this is a bigger problem amongst guitarists. They are often lazy when it comes to timing, really dependent on someone or something else, their grooves, leaning against a drummer or a bassist. You're not developing timing if you're just playing along with the track. Well, maybe a little bit, but you're really nailing it if you learn to keep time by yourself. I mean, is it really that hard to play 3 chords and keep on counting? And then I don't mean 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. No, I mean keep on counting the measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, etc. The beats, and play on it. Okay, so the riff is a little syncopated, so it may be a little tricky, but let's be honest, syncopated 8th notes played in that tempo, like roughly 115 BPM, shouldn't be that difficult if you're just practicing it a little bit. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you want to show some support, just leave a comment or click that like button. It truly means a lot. If you really want to support me, you can do so at my Patreon page where you can sign up and see all the goodies you can get there. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Cheers. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, by the way. Bye.